guys? Drew here. Welcome back to Starting Out Solitary. It's week 223, and this week we are discussing using fictional deity. I don't know what you want me to say about this. I don't think it matters. This is my own truth, my own path. I do not, throw it out the window if it doesn't resonate. I don't care. I'm not here to tell you I'm right and this is the truth. This is my truth. It doesn't matter. If I want to work with the fairy godmother from Cinderella, fine, so be it. She is a symbol, a representation, because for me, that's all any of it is anyway. Again, my own path. For me, I am pantheistic, and so spirit moves through everything. Not only that, for me, everything is made up of spirit. So each individual human being, for an example, is like a cell in the human body. It is part of the larger whole. They are one and the same, in a sense. They are one. Everything in my body is me, is Drew. Although I can break down the kidney, I can break down the lungs, it's still Drew. These are Drew's lungs. They breathe for Drew, blah, blah, blah. It's all, to me, that's how this works. That's just my understanding. So for me, I can see that even a hunk of plastic is sacred, because for me, that hunk of plastic would not exist without spirit. It is part of spirit. It is made up of spirit. Spirit flows through it. So having said that, I believe that spirit is this larger whole and it breaks itself off into parts and distributes them. And so, a piece of spirit is Green Man. That's a personified part. A piece would be Christ or any, Buddha, any of it. And so for me, for instance, if I need comforting and I need a mother's energy, I can get that from spirit, obviously, but I will call Kuan Yin because she personifies that. And it's automatically understood that when I call upon her, that's what I'm looking for. I work with angels. So when I want protection, I just call Archangel Michael. I don't have to go through a whole spiel. I just need to say Archangel Michael, and it's automatically understood. I need protection right now. So if I wanted to work with the fairy godmother from Cinderella, she would personify this sort of godmother, she would personify this wish-giving ability or, what have you. I don't think it matters. I think my interpretation of how this works is most assuredly flawed. It's just my interpretation. I also believe that we create things. You have the old, the tulpa thing and, that kind of thing. But I thought forms, shadow energy that isn't necessarily in or attached to the being, the person, can kind of take on a life of its own, especially once someone has passed. It kind of is shed and left behind for the most part. So we have the capability to create and empower certain energies that can be viewed as entities or beings or deity, what have you. Particularly if they were created a long time ago and then many people fed energy into this thing over, however long. They'll be even more powerful, even more solid, even more real. I believe that existence is a co-creative process. It's not just spirit. We are all part of spirit. We are all creating. We co-create together. We make everything. I think therefore I am can kind of, as above, so below, what have you. It's all different ways of saying the same thing, similar thing at any rate. So my personal opinion is it doesn't matter if you want to, I believe that the virtual space, that there's what you could call a deity for that there is this encompassing sort of energetic being that was created of and for and sort of has dominion, if you will, over this virtual reality that we've created with the internet and what have you. And there are gods that already existed that I can place in that role, that I can see how I say gods, beings, period, because angels too. I could see how you might fit in there and you could take that and be in that, but it doesn't necessarily have to be one that already existed, because I do also see, like, for example, I used the Kuan Yin example earlier. I could also call the Virgin Mary and get the same energy, the same response as if I called Kuan Yin. They're two different goddesses, or, you know, whatever, beings, spiritual beings from two different paths, two different parts of the world that facilitate the same thing. They have a very similar energy. For me, it's not offensive or ridiculous in any way to assign divinity to a fictional character. Because again, this is all about creation, co-creation. And I'm making the reality that I want. I'm creating the life that I want to live. And other people don't get to decide. I have very aggressive people trying to tell me what I need to believe and what's real and what's right and how I should live my life. And I'm not about it. Like, if you want to have fictional characters as divinity, as deity in your life, then go for it. You don't have to tell people if you're worried about a weird reaction. Don't worry about it. I personally don't do this. I say that, but I work with gods and goddesses from various pantheons, and nobody can prove that any of them were ever real. So in some sense, you could say that they were fictional. It's at least possible that they were fictional once upon a time. A story someone told someone, and it grew into something huge, and it became a real thing. So I say go for it. Do what you want to do. You want to work with Mickey Mouse? Work with Mickey Mouse. I don't care. All right, guys. That's my spiel. Agree with me or don't. It's cool. Like, again, I'm not here to tell anybody this is truth. It's my truth. So thank you so much for listening. And until next time, much love and gratitude.